The soldier fired a rocket launcher, but the warhead only left a small crater on the M2 vehicle. The officers were satisfied with this new type of infantry vehicle, but Colonel Burton noticed a problem. Just as he went to check, he was stopped by his superior. The next day Burton checked out the M2 vehicle. He felt something was off. Then Burton came to the ammunition depot for an inspection. He found that the rockets used for testing came from Romania. These were the worst munitions, so the colonel ordered the soldiers to bring a steel plate. As the soldiers fired, the steel plate was unscathed this time. In order to replicate a real battlefield, Burton requested Soviet shells for the test. The soldiers brought some dummies and stuffed them into the M2 vehicle. They set up a BM-21 rocket launcher. As the rocket was fired, it penetrated the vehicle's armor this time, but the vehicle did not explode. Burton went up to inspect. He found the fuel tank was actually filled with water, and the ammunition was filled with sand. To cover up the truth, the Pentagon ordered the charred dummies to be removed. Burton was completely furious. For a live test, Burton bought 10 sheep and herded them into the vehicle. The Pentagon officers were nervous as they saw this. After a shell was launched at the M2 vehicle, a soldier went up to check. When the lid was opened, a large amount of toxic gas came out of the vehicle. None of the sheep survived. What made Burton even angrier was that the bodies of the sheep were also taken away. Burton reported the incident to his superior, but he told Burton to drop it. Turned out that this Bradley M2 vehicle was meant to replace the expensive M113 vehicle. It only cost $1.5 million per unit. The generals were very satisfied. They approved it immediately. But in order to save money, the vehicle had serious flaws. The generals tried to cover up the truth, but the media soon exposed the scandal. Thanks to Colonel Burton's efforts, White House lawmakers decided to conduct a live-fire test on the M2 vehicle. Under the watchful eyes of high-ranking officials, the live-fire test began. As a shell was fired, the M2 vehicle was instantly blown to pieces. Finally, this vehicle, which had cost taxpayers $14 billion, was improved. This is a true story. But the truth of history is the opposite of this movie. So do you know what happened to Colonel Burton?